Hello everyone. The video you're about to watch will be addressing two topics that necessitate business communication. 1. Adapting the 3-step writing process to podcasting, and 2. Adapting to your audience when writing reports and proposals. The application of these steps will enhance the efficiency of business and the attainment of organizations' objectives. I would begin by introducing the first topic, of which subsequent speakers who would also appear on the video will take turns in presenting. Before analyzing the 3 important writing steps to podcasting, it is important to have an understanding of podcasting. Podcast is a form of audio broadcasting on the web that can be listened to on the go or at any point in time. Podcast is a series of pre-recorded talk radio shows that can be downloaded by the users on their mobile devices or on a computer. The 3 important writing steps to podcasting are 1. Planning, 2. Writing, and 3. Revising.
The first step, planning, is an essential part required in podcasting process. It is concerned with analyzing the objectives, the targets, and the mission of your podcast. There are steps when carrying out planning. 1. You need to determine your purpose of the podcast. This will enable you to stay focused on your podcast. 2. You need to identify your audience, those who want to listen to your podcast. 3. You need to choose a topic that is suitable to your audience and to your purpose. 4. You need to determine the format and the structure of your podcast. This will enable you to stay focused and keep your content engaging. The 5th step is to create an outline. An outline will help you keep track of each episode. The 6th step, to schedule and plan ahead. This entails you recording, editing, and releasing your episode at the right time.
Now, the second important part of the writing process is actually the writing element itself. Now, writing is communicating business ideas and concepts by written words. Now, it is very important that appropriate writing process is applied by ensuring quality information dissemination. Now, stay with me as I take you through the 5 processes or the 5 phases in this. Now, the first phase is pre-writing. Now, this is when you as a writer decides what to write about by gathering relevant information to elucidate your podcast. Now, number 2 is drafting. Now, this is when you as the writer decides to sketch work your ideas and transform them into comprehensive thought such as sentences and paragraphs. Now, the third one in this is reviewing. Now, this is when you as the writer re-examine and check the third phase, which is drafting, to see more quality content. Now, the 4th phase in this is the editing and proofreading. Now, this is where you as a writer in an ongoing process decides to check the write-up for errors and mistakes that has been made. The last step is publishing. Now, remember, after your ideas have been written down, the purpose intended is to publish them so as to comprehensible make them ready for your podcast.
Revising is another essential step to exercise in podcasting. The idea, concept, and organization of your write-up needs to be reviewed in order to correct any inefficiency. The following stages are to be followed in order to achieve this. 1. You need to make a revised outline. Ensure that you evaluate the placement and order of arrangement of your information. Secondly, it is important to check the topic sentence in order to enhance effective flow and clarity. Thirdly, ask a friend to read your paper. This exercise is particularly helpful if you are concerned about the balance. The 4th step is to read your paper out loud. That will help in detecting areas that you need improvement. For example, lengthy and confusing sentence and too long introduction. Lastly, read your introduction and conclusion alongside each other.
This takes us to the topic of adapting the audience when writing a report. A report is a paper, article, an announcement or a similar account that contains a detailed information that one has to gather through observation, study, or a given description of something or information about something or to someone. Before writing a report, it is important to consider and carefully consider who the report is for and the purpose of the report. A good report also gives good insights for the audience and promotes transparency.
It is necessary to carry out these useful steps in order to adapt to your audience when writing a report. The first step is to identify your audience. When writing a report, you might want to make a list of the various groups that forms your audience. The second step is to provide the right information to make meaningful impact. The third step is to guide your readers through your writing. This is to influence the organization of information. This is important so that your audience will not get too lost and miss important points. The fourth step is to craft effective sentences. The last step is to make your document visually appealing. The use of illustrations like graphics will capture the attention of your audience.
A proposal is a document that outlines a plan of action, request for funding or proposal of an idea. It also involves a formal suggestion plan or idea. It is essential for an audience to adapt. It is essential to adapt to your audience when writing a proposal. So this will help you to make decisions about what kind of information to include, how those information are arranged, and what kind of supporting details are necessary for your audience to understand what you are presenting. Your audience can act as your recommendation when you present a good report.
The necessary factors to consider when writing a proposal are audience expectation, the knowledge of the topic, the attitude towards the topic. Audience expectation. It is important to note that violating audience expectation can have negative impact on the effectiveness of the speech. The proposal must be able to reach the audience requirements. The knowledge of the topic. Communicators need to find out what their audience already know about the topic so that everyone can be on the same page. The attitude towards the topic. This will help reaching the desired goals for what the proposal was designed for. The last factor is to evaluate the audience size. You need to examine if the proposal is seeking to reach a small or larger size of audience. This will help in channeling your style of presentation.
There are 3 useful tips in analyzing audience that you need to take note of. The first is research. The presenter will be able to learn about audience by researching in the library, on the internet, or physically. The second is survey. It allows the speaker to gain specific information from a number of people. This may include open-ended questions and closed-ended questions. The third is interview. You can learn about your audience from carrying out interviews. This may converse with them and get their views regarding proposed topics.
In summary, we are able to identify the 3 steps in writing processes, which are planning, writing, and revising. And adapting to these important processes to broadcasting will help enhance the effective business communication. Also, we have seen the importance of adapting to your audience while writing reports and proposals. It is crucial that we adopt these steps in order to arrive at worldwide decisions, to build good relations with our audience, as well as to achieve organizational goals and objectives. Thank you.